Contract Manufacturing Solution, Application Setup Part 1. After completing this lesson, you should be able to do the following. Set up a contract manufacturer as a supplier, supplier site, and inventory organization in OEM's enterprise. Create a contract manufacturing finished good item, service item, and finished good item structure, and create available to promise and sourcing rules. Our first section, we will discuss a setup summary. Setups are performed in various areas. Within suppliers, we use this to create contract manufacturing organization as a supplier and supplier site. Within the functional setup manager, we use this to access the task for creating contract manufacturing as an inventory organization. Also, setups are performed directly in product information management. This is to create a contract manufacturing service item, finished good items, and component items. We also use this area to create the item structure for contract manufacturing finished good items. Additionally, some setups are performed in Planning Central and Global Order Promising. This includes enabling the contract manufacturing organization for collections, defining your ATP rules, sourcing rules, and assignment sets, allow for your collect planning data, and refresh and starting the order promising server. Our next section will describe how to define the contract manufacturer as a supplier in each of its manufacturing facilities as a supplier site. These screenshots are associated with the selection task, Create Suppliers. As shown in the slide, you define the contract manufacturer as a supplier in each of its manufacturing facilities as a supplier site. As seen in the first screenshot, the supplier type is set to supplier, and then below in the contract manufacturer site, it's specified as the same location as the actual contract manufacturer's location. Our next section will describe the contract manufacturing inventory organization setup. These screenshots represent the contract manufacturing inventory organization setup details. You access this task by going into the functional setup and maintenance area, then under the functional area of enterprise profile, searching for and accessing the task Manage Inventory Organizations and Manage Cost Organizations. The slide displays the key attributes setup which are required to define a contract manufacturing organization. A contract manufacturing organization is set as an external organization. The checkboxes for Organization is a manufacturing plant and Organization represents a contract manufacturer are set to Yes. For the supplier and supplier site attributes, the actual contract manufacturer and its site are selected. Our next section describes the Product Information Management service item and finished goods setup. For setting up the detail for your Product Information Management service item, you would navigate from the Navigator to Product Management and then to Product Information Management. The task associated with the selection would be Manage Items to either update an existing item or Create Items for a new item. This slide displays the key attribute setups which are required to define a contract manufacturing service item. The predefined item template called Contract Manufacturing Service Component is applied after the item is created in PIM. This indicates that all the mandatory attribute value setups are required. This item is set as a buy item and the contract manufacturing field is set to Yes. As a best practice and for easy identification, you may want to consider creating the service item number in the format as contract manufacturer name or initial and the contract manufacturing finished goods item number. For the finished goods setup, the finished good item structure must include all components used to construct the item so that they are available in the work definition. Additionally, the associated service item to be used for procurement must be included as a component. This slide will display the key attribute setup which is required to define a contract manufacturing finished good item. The predefined item template, called Contract Manufacturing Finished Goods, is applied after the item is created in PIM. This ensures that all the mandatory attribute value setups are required. Then, this item is set as a make item and the contract manufacturing field is set to the value of Yes. You'll want to create an item structure for the contract manufacturing finished good item and include the contract manufacturing service item as a component to the contract manufacturing finished good item. This section describes the Planning Central and Order Promising setup availability and sourcing. This screenshot shows the interface for setting up your available to promise rules. To access, you'll go to the Navigator, Order Management, then Order Promising. The task associated with the selection is Manage ATP Rules. The availability to promise rules are required for a finished good item and its components. When you set the promising mode to Supply Chain Availability Search, the promising engine considers components availability when setting dates for an order. This enables order promising even if finished goods are not yet in inventory. The overall sequence for setup of order promising is shown in the diagram. Note that many steps do not have specific contract manufacturing requirements. The complete sequence of operations and navigation for setting up order promising can be found in the student guide on the page that matches the screenshot that you see here on the video. This screenshot shows the interface for setting up sourcing rules. To access the configuration, you'll also go to the Navigator, Order Management, then Order Promising. The tasks associated with this selection are Manage Sourcing Rules and Manage Assignment Sets. Sourcing rules provide the planning engine with information about how and where the items must be supplied for fulfillment. For the contract manufacturing solution, it's important to include a rule that specifies that the item can be provided or made by the contract manufacturing organization. Sourcing rules are not item specific. Sourcing assignment rules or assignment sets are used to assign sourcing rules to items and organizations so that maximum flexibility is provided when there is more than one source for an item. For the contract manufacturing solution, it's also important to include at least one assignment rule using the sourcing rule for the contract manufacturing organization. As a note, the contract manufacturer's organization is associated with the supply network model. As part of your Practice 23-4, you'll also view this association. Our next section describes the business rules and processes setup. These tasks are accessed by going to the Order Management area of the Setup and Maintenance Work area. The tasks include, for order management, setting up orchestration processes and assignment rules. These allow you to assign predefined back-to-back fulfillment processes to the finished good items, and as of this release, the orchestration process is assigned automatically based on the item's back-to-back attributes and the sourcing rule. Then within supply chain orchestration, no additional setup is required within supply chain orchestration to support contract manufacturing. We now have a series of practices to enhance our learning. That will include practices 24.1 for navigating to the inventory organization parameters page, 24.2 reviewing item attribute settings within the PIM or product information management structure, 24.3 reviewing the ATP and sourcing rules for contract manufacturing, and 24.4 reviewing the supplier association to inventory organization within supply network model. Before we launch into our practices, let's review our topics for the section. In this lesson, you should now have learned how to set up a contract manufacturer as a supplier, supplier site, and inventory organization within OEM's enterprise, create a contract manufacturing finished good item, service item, and finished good item structure, and create available to promise and sourcing rules. Let's now go complete our practices.